Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Lily. I am so happy you're here with me today. In today's video, I am going to do a junk journal with me session, and I think this is session number 5. Is that right? 5? I've lost track. Anyhow, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm still going to do the junk journal with me session, but I'm also going to do an unboxing with Your Creative Studio. Your Creative Studio reached out to me and asked if I would like the tea garden kit. And of course I said yes. And so I am going to open that up and show you all of the beautiful contents in the Your Creative Studio Tea Garden Kit. I know that's a mouthful, but there are so many beautiful things in that box. I have the box right here. I've already opened it because I've already recorded the contents, so I'm working a little bit backwards today. It's going to be so much fun. This is so great. And the reason why I am going to be doing this a little bit different from what I've normally done with the Junk Journal with Me videos is that instead of using primarily my junky junk, the stuff that I keep in my own little gift bag, it's a little gift bag with all of my junky junk, I am going to use the contents of the Your Creative Studio Tea Garden Kit, and I am going to create a 2-page layout. And the reason I'm doing this is, what if you don't know what kind of junk to collect? And I know because I get asked, what kind of junk do I save? So maybe you don't want to collect junk, or maybe you feel that you don't have all the junk necessary to create a layout. You don't need to limit yourself and just use all the junk that you collected, but you can also incorporate things from kits like the Your Creative Studio kits and use them in conjunction with your junky junk and create even more beautiful junk journal layouts. I'm going to show you how to do that in today's video. Thank you so much for Your Creative Studio for reaching out to me. I have done unboxing videos in the past, and I am going to link that playlist up above. So if you have been with me for a while, you know that I do an unboxing and then I like to work on a project, but I'm taking advantage of that. You are enjoying the Junk Journal with Me series, so why don't we add a new addition to that? Are you guys ready to get started? Let's go over to the Crafty Loft and let's get busy.
It's been a minute since I've done an unboxing video for Your Creative Studio, so I am so happy that they still kept me in mind and reached out to me. And I was able to fit it into my schedule. Oh my gosh, I'll tell you guys all about my schedule in just a moment. If you're interested in any of Your Creative Studio kits and all of their other amazing things, they have a website, and I am going to link their website in the description area below. If you have any questions, again, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. So cute. I love the packaging, and there's always a nice little thank you card as you open it. Remember, this kit is called the Tea Garden Kit, and I just ripped into that yellow tissue. I do save all of the packaging that comes in this little box. I have used that yellow packaging tissue in other projects. It is so nice, and it makes the most amazing crinkly paper sound. So I am going to save that. I was just doing that for the sound effects, but I'll fold it back up and put it in the box. The way that I like to do unboxing videos is I take everything out of the box and then open each item and then put it back into its cute little box. I love this paper ephemera. This little kit, or this package, contains 24 different design papers, 4 of each design, I believe. Yeah, 24 sheets, 4 of each design. And you get 6 sticker papers, 6 vellum papers, 6 art papers, which is more like a heavier cardstock, and then 6 pattern papers, and those are much more lightweight, which you can use like, for decoupage. I am showing you the sticker paper, and in a moment I am going to show you how I ruined half of this sheet. I was going to keep that out of the video, but I think it's important for me to show you the blunders too, so that you don't make the same mistakes I make. So that'll be up ahead right before I get started with the Junk Journal with Me. Junk Journal with Me session. These papers are so beautiful. I love roses. I'm sure you love the florals and the roses. And then you've got the tea theme in there. I'm showing you the flexibility of the paper. The ones that I kind of curl for you are much lighter, which can be used for decoupage. They're super lightweight, easy to manipulate. And then you can kind of tell as you're going through the paper, they feel different. The textures are different, and it's easy to tell which ones are sticker papers and then which ones are, well, of course, the vellum. Those are pretty obvious. But like the art paper versus the pattern paper, it's a heavier weight than the thinner papers. So many great uses for all of these papers. Do you see how I can do that? Because they're much lighter. I love the color palette too. The pinks and all of the variations of the shades of pink, which I love. And then there's so many different shades of green too. And I am loving green. You know how much I love chartreuse, which is like a lime green color. But lately I have been loving all of the green shades. I've incorporated a lot of the green in my bedroom, so I love the green. Look at these. Look at those leaves. They kind of have a little bit of chartreuse, almost like a neon green in there. And then like a jade green. Anyway, absolutely beautiful colors in these design papers. And then the vellums. I am going to use one of the smaller vellum papers in the junk journal layout. And I think it's a fun little technique. So stick around, don't go away, because at the end of the video, I am going to show you, well, not the end of the video, but the second half of the video, I will show you how I use most of the items that are in this kit to create a beautiful junk journal layout. And it is Mother's Day theme, because you know we just celebrated Mother's Day a couple weeks ago, and I printed some pictures, and I just absolutely love how it turned out. But don't go fast forwarding. You have to see the contents first. And then, okay, part of the other items in this is a sheet of stickers, which is really fun. And this right here blew my mind. I love this so much. There are so many floral vellum stickers in this pack, like it was raining floral vellum stickers. I was so impressed at the quantity, at the amount of stickers in this package. They are titled Retro Flowers, and it is a variation of roses plus also different types of florals. These stickers are absolutely gorgeous, and I do use several of these in the junk journal layout. They have a plastic backing, and all you have to do is take the ball of your finger and kind of just rub it like I've been doing it to show you, and it separates the two. But yes, that was one of my most favorite things of this kit. It's hard to say. I think I say favorite throughout this video a lot, or I will say favorite, but there are just so many wonderful elements in this kit, and I know you're going to agree. So I'm just going to quickly show you what all of these look like so you can see the variety of florals that you can use. Oh my gosh, these are so beautiful. So many great ideas. And I love that there is an abundance of these floral stickers in this kit, because I wasn't shy when it came to using them. And when you have so many like this, you tend to use them more in your projects, because sometimes I have hoarder tendencies, and if I'm limited in the amount of things that I have, I tend not to use them. But luckily in this kit, there's a ton. I didn't count them. I just know there's a ton, and you can see obviously there is a whole bunch. So don't hold back. Use them all up, because they are absolutely gorgeous. So many great things. I received this kit, I want to say less than a week ago, and I am so happy that there was some time in my schedule where I can record the unboxing video, because I do crafting every day, but sometimes I just don't turn the camera on. And because I've been wanting to work on a junk journal with me video, the light bulb went on, and I thought, why don't I just combine the two and then, you know, kill two birds with two, kill, what is that saying? Two birds with one stone. There you go. And it worked out. So I'm so pleased because I have been really busy, or busy. I've been busy. People say, "Oh, don't say busy, say productive." Well, I've been busy. I've been busy and productive. I don't know any other way to say it. Busy, just because we say busy doesn't mean we're not productive. I think they go hand in hand, and I have been really busy. So anyway, I'll get back to that in just a moment. I'm kind of skipping through some of these things. That little, it was like a 3x3 inch square little paper pad. Those are so cute. They're art papers in just a smaller size. And then there is this other little package of really cute stickers. Like, these are totally unexpected, but it was so fun, kind of whimsy. You've got sunglasses that say summer, and I know that right now a lot of the kids just started summer vacation, so that's the first thing I thought of when I saw those. And then there are some little vintage images like sundaes and cotton candy. And then even this is like it says yay from the balloons, you know. And then there are some beautiful ladies, like vintage and retro lady stickers. So cute, because I do use a couple of those lady stickers. I told you I'm going to be doing a Mother's Day layout, so these stickers were absolutely perfect. And they go so well with everything else. See, look at how beautiful these vintage ladies are. So this was a nice little treat, totally unexpected, but it works really well with everything else in the kit. I mean, Your Creative Studio knows how to curate a kit, and everything just meshes and coordinates so well. Another little paper pad of more art papers in different sizes. These are not sticky back, but they are perfect for layering. And part of the Mother's Day layouts that I am going to do have to do with layering, and that is going to be so much fun. How to break a blank page. Oh my gosh, I'm going to show you how to do that. Look at these. These are my favorite. I know I said that the floral stickers were my favorite, but these are my favorite. Look at these stinking cute envelopes. I can't, you guys, just stop. They are so flipping cute. They are lined on the inside, not lined, but they have a decorative pattern on the inside. And then look at that like scalloped edge on the flap. And then the beautiful images on the front of the envelope. So stinking cute. There are 6 of these envelopes in this little package, and you get 2 of each design. Is there 6 or 8? I think it's 6. I made a mess of everything because after I put everything back in the box, when I was doing the junk journal with me, I took everything back out, and so everything is out of order. But you can see how many are here. There's either 6 or 8 of them, but there's plenty to use and not hoard. We want to use up our supplies. And look at how cute. I wonder if a traditional like gift card would fit in there. So cute. Would make a nice little present. Okay, this other little kit is so cute. These are more decorative papers, but these are vellum. And I just love this little cover with that little peekaboo window. And this was an inspiration for an idea that popped into my head for the junk journal layout. You're going to like my idea. Well, I like my idea. I only hope you do too. And look at all of these beautiful vellum papers. They are so beautiful. There are butterflies and bird cages, and I think this there's one that's a terranium. I know I'm not saying that correctly. Terranium? I know that's not right. But you know, like the glass container, and you put like plants in it. What is that called? I have my phone in front of me, but I'm not going to Google it right now. But you can tell me what it is, because I know I just butchered it. But those are super cute vellums. And then these are so fun. These are like washi strips. And they look like, some of them are just strips of beautiful, decorative like butterfly paper. There's a lot of different beautiful butterfly designs. Others look like tickets, and then some look like postage stamps, but they're strips of washi. And the ones that look like postage stamp, you can actually cut those and use them individually. And the same with the tickets. Aren't they gorgeous? They are sticky back, and they are somewhat like a vellum. And I use some of these in the layout, so when I peel them apart, you'll be able to see what they look like. Do I show you? Do I show you right now how it peels? But they are all sticky back. You see how you can kind of tell they're a very thin, almost vellum-like paper. Absolutely gorgeous. So many uses for these as well. So that is a generous amount in that little pocket, and then I left a few behind, so I'm just taking them all out so you can see how many are in there. No hoarding here. We're going to use as many things as we possibly can. Maybe not all of them in today's Junk Journal with Me session, but I've got tons to be able to use in future videos. Do you see how thin, almost like tissue that is? Maybe not vellum. I meant to say tissue. It's thin like tissue paper. Really nice. And just kind of demonstrating how you can cut these and use them as individual stamps. Here is another sticker sheet. I like to use these as envelope seals. These are vellum stickers, and isn't that such a beautiful little tea kettle? Love it. But yeah, these will be great. You can use them as faux postage, or you can also use these to seal your envelopes. There is this cute little matchbox. I'm just going to open it up. And I just love packaging like this, little miniature things, small little packages. It's so fun. And of course, I will be keeping that little box and repurposing it. And I just love it. I'm just going to keep the little stickers in there anyway. These are tiny little stickers, just an array of different shapes. You've got ovals and circles. Some of them have images of ladies, and others have numbers. And just so many different ones. They are so cute. These also make great faux postage. You can also use them as envelope seals and also to collage. So many great uses for all of these. Embellish your junk journal pages with these. So many great ideas. I just love the little packaging. I think I'm going to give my sister some of those strawberry ones. My sister loves strawberries. She's like a huge fan of strawberry shortcake. She loves like Rainbow Bright and strawberry shortcake. She always has. She is 50 years old, and I think she loves strawberry shortcake and Rainbow Bright even more. I think when you love something when you're younger, that passion just grows when you're older. It doesn't necessarily go away. The love you have for something grows even more. Anyway, that was my little tangent on her loving strawberries. And then finally, we have these little pouches, and there's always a nice little surprise in these. It actually says what they are on the actual package. Usually there will be some red rubber stamps and maybe a washi tape. Let's take a look and see what is in these. And I cut the tops carefully because I will be reusing these little pockets. I either use them in my own junk journaling, or I use them in the junk journals that I make to give away, to sell. Nothing goes to waste because everything has potential. This one contains beautiful washi tape in a beautiful floral design. A nice generous amount. No one can ever have too much washi tape. And I've been so good lately at incorporating more washi tapes into my work. And so I love that I get even more washi tape, because I've been really surprised that I have actually discarded like empties. So that's rare. These are the red rubber stamps. They come with a plastic protective layer. And so I'm just peeling that away. These are so cute. One of those little stamps are stacked teacups. The little tiny one is a little bunny in a teacup. And this is a tea setting. It's hard to tell, but I am going to stamp it on some scrap piece of paper so you can clearly see these beautiful stamped images. And I will be using one of these in the junk journal layout. So I'm going to take some red archival ink. I'm choosing red so that you could see all of the detail. Not that you can't with black, but I really want it to pop. And I think the red really pops on camera. And it is beautiful. I didn't even bother grabbing an acrylic block because they are so sturdy, where if you just handle it carefully, you can use it sans a block. So super easy. They're nice and thick, so you can actually hold them and press them down. Even me with my long fingernails, I was able to handle this just right. and I'll bring that up closer to the camera so that you can take a look. But I absolutely love the stacked teacups. And the the bottom teacup has this little heart border, and you know how much I love hearts. The heart shape is my absolute favorite. So these little teacups just stacked are so dang cute. And I'll be using one of these stamps in the layout. I'm not going to tell you which one because I want you to watch the junk journal with me part of this video so you can see how I use these things in a layout. And that tiny little one is so cute. It is of a tiny little bunny rabbit in that teacup. By the way, did you guys notice how I have a new tabletop? Yes, I painted my tabletop. And I showed more of that on my Instagram on how I painted it. Not how I painted it, but the before and after. Look at these stamped images. Oh my gosh, so stinking cute. Look at the tea setting, that tiny little bunny in the teacup, and then the stacked teacups. So cute. Oh, and then there's yet another teacup design there. Almost left that one out. But they are all absolutely gorgeous. And there's so much detail in there, and that is the red rubber. So let me give you a sneak peek of my brand new painted table. I used these beautiful DIY paints. This one is a turquoise shade. Oh my gosh. I know the room's crazy because I had to take everything off the table, but I needed a change. I needed some more color into my space, and I am absolutely loving my table. But yes, look at how beautiful that looks in the background. Okay, this is the part that I'm so excited to work on. The Junk Journal with Me session, episode 5. I looked it up. It is episode 5. And I am going to just kind of choose some blank pages. Well, they're all blank. Some of them are white. Some of them have a design. If you would like to see this series of my junk journal with me, I will either link it up above or down in the description area so you can see the 4 episodes prior to this one. So the very first thing that I am going to do is select the pages. And I'm not too picky about the pages. I love all of the different papers that I used to create my personal junk journal. But I'm loving the black. I love the pops of black in my journal. And so that's what I gravitated to today. We are going to start with 2 blank pages, and we are going to layer. I've already printed some pictures in advance. These are photographs from Mother's Day, and then I just threw in some 3 random other pictures just because I didn't want that paper to go to waste. But I am going to cut all of these out, and I will use, I can't remember if it's 4 or 5 of these images on my junk journal layouts. And I printed those on sticker paper. Oh, it's such a game changer. And I'm glad that I saw someone do that, and so I was inspired to print on sticker paper too. And the pictures come out really nice. Okay, this is where I goof up, okay? Do not take the backing. Do not take all the backing off of the paper. Start with little sections. I should have known better, but what happened is it all curled in itself, and I ruined a perfectly good piece of paper. So when you're working with large sticker sheets, work, like peel as you're sticking it onto your surface, peel the backing away. Don't do it all at once. So I had to grab a new sheet and start all over again. But because I am working on the black background, I really want that black to pop, I decided to cut the paper in half. Oh, this is a little peekaboo that I am going to do, which inspired me from one of the packaging in the kits. I'm taking my heart punch and I am just punching through that lower corner, which is going to create a peekaboo window. And I was inspired to do that from that purple packaging that you see on the upper side of the camera. And I'm now going to back it up with some vellum. And I am just going to staple it on there. And that creates so much interest on that page. And I just love that look. And I could have used any punch. So if this is something you want to try, you can use a round punch, square punch, star punch, any punch you want to create something similar. I just reached for the first punch, and it happened to be three little hearts. And I'm just going to staple that little piece of vellum. And I'm not going to worry about the opposite side until I get to that page. And I will work around it because I don't want to cover up that little peekaboo window. And I just love that little detail. So sometimes you get inspired from the most random places and then you just run with it. So instead of using the full sheet, I am only going to use half a sheet. And because this is smaller, I went ahead and peeled off the entire back. It's not going to curl up on me as much as the full sheet did. So I'm not doing that again. Oh, I did manage to save the top half that tore off, but the bottom half that curled completely ruined it. Oh, I was so bummed, but I'm glad that I had this one as well. So I'm just going to attach half of it on the lower left-hand side, and this is where I begin to layer. So for example, if these pages were blank and you're having trouble breaking a blank page, you can do so by layering. And I recommend the lightweight papers, or papers like this, which are very lightweight and sticky, which make it so easy to layer and to break a blank page. So this is what I'm going to do. And so I took one full sheet and I'm able to use it on 2 separate pages. Oh, so yes, I was really excited to be able to work on this. Lately, I have been working on a real estate transaction. Many of you know that I am a full-time realtor, and I am working on one of the most challenging real estate transactions in a while. And so that transaction has been consuming most of my time. I've learned so many things with this real estate transaction, and it has been a learning curve. And I've been in real estate my entire life, but no new transaction is ever the same. Every single transaction I've ever worked with in my life has been completely different. This one here is quite different, but anyway, it's working out. So fingers crossed that everything works out for my clients. So that's what I've been doing, spending most of my time. And what I meant to say earlier is I have been really slow in posting YouTube content for that reason. And I've just, I just have been dedicating all of my time to that transaction. The other thing that I'm doing, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but the other thing that I'm doing is I took on, for the month of May, I took on a training, because aside from being a full-time realtor, I also work part-time at Costco, and I am a membership. I set up memberships, and I do that part-time. I know. But they offered a training for an optician, because Costco has the optical department, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for a couple years now, and I finally got my chance to train in the optical department. And so I am doing that the entire month of May. And I love it so much. I cannot believe the things that I've learned in the optical department. Like, I know what all the things mean. And even though I have been wearing eyeglasses most of my life, I didn't know anything. I knew nothing really about nearsightedness, farsightedness, and all the things, astigmatism. I mean, I know that I have astigmatism, but it is just wild. The things like, like I could fill your prescription. Like I could help you with your glasses now because I know what everything means. Like I could help you with your contacts. And I'm only on week 3. Oh my gosh. I just love it so much. And I wish the training was at least 6 months, you know. I'm only hoping that the manager in that department likes my work and calls me back. But you know what? If there's ever an opening in that optical department, I am going to request a transfer because I love it so much. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing, because even though I'm training there on how to be an optician, I think I'm already an optician since I'm already doing it, right? But since I'm training there, I do have the opportunity to transfer if a position ever comes available. So I'm excited about that. So that's what I've been doing. And then also, you know, trying to get in my crafting. You know, I craft every day. I just don't turn the camera on every day. And so knowing that I needed to do this unboxing video, and not that I needed to, but I wanted to do it, and also the junk journal with me video, and also I have another video coming up soon. I'm working on 12 junk journals. You guys want to see what's going on behind the scenes? I will have my crafty Instagram linked down below, because I do share a lot of behind the scenes on my Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams. I have a personal Instagram, and then I have my crafty Instagram, and I will have both of those linked in the description area below. I do keep myself very, very busy. What's weird sometimes is when I find myself having spare time, I panic because I feel like maybe I forgot something, because I'm always on the go. I'm always doing something. I like to keep myself busy. Oh, look. Okay, so here are look at this picture, you guys. This is Mother's Day, and I put together a like DIY painting party where I had everyone that wanted to participate draw a portrait of someone else. And so we drew names, and so you drew the name of the person you were going to do a portrait of. And that was a portrait of my youngest daughter, Cayenne. So I drew Cayenne's name, so I drew a portrait of Cayenne. And so I took a picture of my daughter holding her portrait. It was like, you have no idea how much fun Mother's Day was. It was like an impromptu idea. And I brought all of my supplies because, you know, I've got plenty of supplies. I have paints and mixed media papers and paintbrushes. So I had everything set up on the dinner table, and we just went at it and had so much fun. It was so funny at the end. So there is a little group picture of everyone holding the portrait of themselves. My oldest daughter, drew my portrait, and it was so cute. Everyone's portrait was absolutely amazing, and it was so much fun. I can't wait to do this again. So if this is something that you want to do, it won't cost you. If you're a crafter and you've got tons of supplies, it won't cost you any extra money to use your supplies and put together your own DIY paint party. We don't have easels, you know, we didn't have palettes. I worked with the supplies that I have, and we all had an amazing time. And so you see, I'm now adding the picture of my youngest daughter, and you can see there how she's holding her portrait. Did I nail it, you guys? Did I do good? And then this is a picture of my mother and me. We are on the back deck, and she was sitting there drinking. She was either drinking her tea or drinking her cup of coffee. But how perfect this tea garden themed kit, how it coordinated so well with Mother's Day. It was almost like it was just happenstance that I received it right around the same time as Mother's Day, so it worked out so well. These are some of those washi strips, and these are like tickets. I am going to cut them out. I could have used the entire strip as I did on one of the strips where I just put the entire strip down. But these I wanted to use like individual tickets, and I'm just going to randomly place them over some of the pictures and some of the beautiful decorative papers. And I was talking while I was doing all of the layering, but you did see how I used a lot of the different size decorative papers to create a background and just kind of layered some over the others. And then I began to place my pictures. One of my favorite things to do in my junk journal pages is to use photographs. I have been a scrapbooker too for, almost 30 years. I've been scrapbooking for a very long time. What I love about junk journaling is that I can incorporate some of those techniques that I learned when I was scrapbooking and then add them into my junk journal pages. So if you were a scrapbooker, you'll know exactly what to do with a kit like this, because it takes all of those same scrapbooking principles, but you're going to make it kind of junky. I think scrapbooking before was a very formal, formal way of documenting, but with junk journaling, I think it's more of a freestyle, a free form of scrapbooking, where things don't have to be so perfect and linear. I love things that are layered and look a little bit messy. And it's just a reflection of my maximalism. I am a maximalist, and so for me, the more the better. So the more little elements that I have, the more I will use. I took the teacup rubber stamp, the stacked one, and I stamped it using blue archival ink on some scrap paper. This was junky paper. It was actually the back of a paper pad. And I'm trimming it down to a rectangular shape because I am going to create a tag. And very simple. And then I am going to layer even more of the decorative elements onto that little tag. I'm going to punch a hole so that it looks like a tag. So as I was unboxing the kit, there were a lot of ideas that were going through my head. But this layout was not planned in advance. I knew that I was going to use the kit, and I knew that I was going to use the photographs that I printed, but I didn't know what it was going to look like. So it was almost like a little challenge, which is kind of like what I've done with my other Junk Journal with Me sessions or episodes. It's a nice little challenge where I reach into my little junky junks and pull everything out and let's see where it goes. And so I basically am doing the same thing with this kit, just kind of playing around with the items. And there are so many great items that I'm able to use in this layout. I'm going to take some of this beautiful silk ribbon, and I didn't cut it long enough, and so I struggle a little bit making the bow, but I edited that part out. But because it's silk, I didn't want to just, I wanted to use this little piece, so I made it work. It took me longer than it should have to make this bow, but I didn't want to bore you with me fussing over that, so I am going to trim those little edges. Silk is really durable, because when I tried cutting it from the little spool that I have with regular scissors, it almost wouldn't cut through. And so to finish up those little edges, I'm actually using my fabric scissors, and it cuts through like butter. But regular paper scissors did not do that. So interesting little fact about the silk. I also have had a hard time in the past threading a needle through silk because it's just so durable. Here's something that I don't do very often, and that is ink the edges, but I think that this little tag needed it just a little bit. This is Oxide Ink by Tim Holtz in the color Tea Dye. And I just wanted a very subtle aging look on the edge of the tag. And then I added one of those the lady stickers on there just to add more dimension and interest to that tag. And I love how that little tag turned out. And I am just going to simply staple it to my page. The stapler is your friend, you guys. It is so easy to just take a regular office stapler and attach things to your junk journal pages. You don't have to fuss with glue, with tape. You just simply staple it on. And this is where I grab a few of these vellum stickers, and I am just going to scatter these and place them throughout the 2 pages. And see how I take the ball of my fingertip and then, you just kind of work it on one of the edges. Sometimes you have to rotate the edges until your finger or the ball of your fingertip kind of catches and separates the 2. And I'm just going to layer these stickers over the pictures. And I love that they are somewhat transparent because they are vellum. A lot of the background still shows through, and you could see all of the different layers that come through. This fern leaf, I think, looked perfect right under the picture of my mother and me because of all of the greenery that is in the background. And I was like a kindergartner. I wanted to use all the stickers, all of them, just layer them one on top of the other. That's how I feel when I'm working with stickers. The next thing I'm going to do is I reached into my own little supply of word stickers. I've had these little word stickers for over 10 years. They don't even have sticky on them anymore. But instead of doing a quote like I have in the past, I am going to do journaling via the little random stickers. And so I'm going to create phrases, and I'm going to build the phrases with all of these random little stickers. And I have an acrylic drawer. I don't show it to you. I should have brought it into view so you could see what I'm talking about. But I have shown it in the past. It is a little acrylic drawer, and it has all of my word stickers in there. And some of them have fallen off of the paper backing because they are no longer sticky. All I did is I rummaged through that little drawer and pulled out words that I thought would play well with this layout. And they're all different. They're from, some of them are Tim Holtz stickers, some of them are Studio Calico. There are Heidi Swap stickers, Simple Stories. Who else? Dilution stickers. Just all kinds of stickers. Stickers from Dollar Tree, stickers from the 99-cent store. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue and then place them down. And this is another way or another method of journaling if you don't want to write things down and you just want to use phrase or sentiment stickers. This is a great idea. And I also went ham with the sentiment stickers. And I am just, I've already selected them, so they're a little bit off camera and they're off to the right hand side. And there's a nice little bunch of phrases that go well with my layout. Some of them read family, and then today, celebrate, love you. So by combining those together, you have made your own phrases. At the very end of the video, I am going to do a slideshow for you. I took some pictures of the journal layouts, and I will have a slideshow for you at the end, which will bring the pages up close so that you can see more detail, closer detail of what these pages look like. I love this layout so much. You guys, I had no idea that this is what I would, or this would be the end result. I had no idea. And so if you don't know where to start, just start, okay? It's going to be, I'm not going to say it's easy. It'll take a little bit, but I just need you to start. Just start sticking paper down. Just start. And then little by little, the more you work, the more creative you will become. I think there's a quote by Maya Angelou, and she says something about, you're not going to run out of creativity. You're just going to become more creative. And so just start, and you'll see how your creativity will evolve and it'll grow. And then all of a sudden you're going to look back and you're going to go, wow, look, I did that. Whatever it is that you're working on, you're going to go, wow, I did that. And there are things that I have worked on and I've started. I create a lot of prototypes before, if I'm working on a specific project, I will create prototypes. And that prototype is just the start of something. It doesn't always turn out how I want, but it's how I started. And the more I work, the more I create, and then I eventually get to a place where I just love what I'm working on. So that's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. I love these gold stickers. These are gold stickers that I bought at the 99-cent store in California, 10 years ago, maybe more than 10 years ago. It's so sad the 99-cent store is gone. They're no longer around, but I still have some of these gold stickers. And this one reads, "You are beautiful." So do you see how all of these random stickers just work so well? So well. By the way, we just got a day show in Salt Lake. And then there's also going to be a day show in Provo. So that's pretty cool. My daughter Devin, just a few days ago, was up in Salt Lake and thought she would drive by Deso to kind of pop in there, because the only Deso we've ever been to is in California, the Cerritos one. And she drove by. There were lines just to get inside. So she never made it in. The line was too crazy long. So I'm going to wait a while before I go to the Deso in Salt Lake. Let the crowds die down a little bit, because I know it's something new, and you know how it gets when there's something new. Look at this. Oh, and I'm going to add a nice little hello sticker onto the tag. So cute. I could have kept going. I'm using as many of the word stickers as I possibly can, but is too much too much? Or when is it too much? Oh, it's never too much, says a maximalist, right? I'm going to take the negative. Did you see that negative? It had little gold hearts, and I'm going to actually use a couple of the ones that fell off the sticker sheet because they have no more sticky. I'm just going to randomly place them on the page. But the negative part, I liked it so much that I'm also going to use it on the page. So don't sleep on the negatives. The negatives are also great to use on your junk journal pages. They already have sticky back, and they will add a nice layering element, a nice interest to your pages, which is what I am going to do here. So earlier I said that if you feel like you don't know what kind of junk to use, or you don't want to collect junk for your junk journals, or you have some junk, you can take kits like this and use them along with the little pieces of junk that you have or that you've collected, and marry the two. And it's going to turn out amazing. I love these layouts. I'm using new items from the kit, but I was also able to introduce some of my own personal junky junk. And I absolutely love how this page turned out. I want to say that this may be my most favorite layout from my junk journal. I don't know, that's kind of hard because I love all of my pages, and it's so fun to go through my junk journal and see all of my finished layouts. I'm wondering, I would love to be able to do a junk journal with me session every single week, and that's my goal. I would love to do that because the Junkie Junk is growing, and now that I have, the Your Creative Studio kit, my little Junkie Junks are growing even more. And so I really need to work on trying to do a junk journal with me episode at least once a week, because I would love to see how far I go in this journal by the end of the year. Oh my gosh, we're almost halfway through the year, you guys. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. But so many things have happened this year. So many things. It's incredible. It's incredible how many things have happened. Some that have been fantastic, some not so great. But you know what? Here we are. And I give thanks every day. First thing I do when I get up in the morning is I give thanks. And I take a look outside and say to myself, today is going to be a great day. And it usually is. Usually a great day. So look at the beautiful little lady sticker that I added in the lower left-hand corner. And now let's put the date down. So I just grabbed a thin Sharpie marker. I usually do a doodly border all the way around, but this one didn't need it. And I'm just going to jot down that this was on Mother's Day 2025. There are so many things that I want to document. I just don't have enough hours in the day, you guys. Not enough hours in the day. And in a couple hours, I'm having my youngest daughter drop off my two youngest grandbabies because I am on grandma duty today. So I'm trying to hurry and get this voiceover done before the children arrive, because then that's it. I will be with them. They will have 100% of my time. Thank you so much for being here with me today. These are the stills that I took of the junk journal. I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoyed creating. Mother's Day was such a special day. I got to spend it with my three girls, with my mother. My sister came over. I forgot to take a picture with my sister. We had fun painting. We had great food. So much fun. And I know it's after Mother's Day, but I hope that you had a wonderful Mother's Day as well. And you spent it with the people that you love. You guys are awesome. Please let me know down in the comment section if you have any questions about today's video. You guys are awesome. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!